Everyone, it's Krill Sendru once again with my Let's Play of Warlock Master of the Arcane. Let's go ahead and get through this. This is not going to take much, sort of the end of turn stuff. Probably could have done that in the last video now that I think about it, but that's okay. Yeah, they're hitting the city, but it's a size 14 city, so it's not going to do a whole lot of damage at once. And once I get some defenders in there, they won't be able to do much of anything. Like, not that this matters at this point, realistically. I mean, even if I lost the city, it wouldn't matter. I mean, what are they going to do? I'll just start clicking like crazy or something and like try to skip turns. I mean, what are they realistically going to do? Really? Really? Alright, Dragon Queen. You gonna go bomb some stuff? Okay, that's nice. Get another little lag spike. Okay. And who needs to press any button other than this one? Spell's ready. Choose its target. Victory. That's my target. Yep. Impossible difficulty. Done.
The great mage has achieved a great victory. After the last syllable of the unity spell was spoken, there came a great silence. And in that silence, illumined with power, the great mage ascended to the sky and became the one who stands above all magic, and even the gods themselves.
Right, well, if you imagine gods to be something that have a limit on power, then inevitably anything that has a limit, therefore could have something else that has a higher limit on its power. And in this case, we're running the Pantheon concepts, and usually they do have that kind of thing. So we got our... I'll just go ahead and let this run for a bit. This was called an indie game, and I want you to take a minute to think about it. Is this really an indie game with this many people on this? Now, granted, it's a small company, but I wouldn't call it outright indie. Not like what they're saying. It's just not to me. It's just one of those things. But regardless, it's a small company that made a really good game. I think that it definitely could have used some fixes on the bugs, as you saw, but they're really wasn't nearly as bad as most of the games these days. I just kind of wish the game designers out there would realize how much they're hurting themselves and their reputation by not taking the time to fix things like they used to. I mean, you know, they just rely on patches, but they don't actually patch everything out, and so on. I mean, it's not like every game's super bad, but still. Well, in any case, so that was a single time through. It would take a lot to go through again, but I just want to... I'm not going to actually start the game. I want to give you an idea of what I'm going to be looking at. So right now, I'm on impossible difficulty, right? I'm going to be dropping down to normal so that you can see things as they actually should be, not with stats skewed in favor of super high difficulty. I'm probably going to run, I've been thinking about this, more than likely I'll end up with Armageddon mode next, which you can run with everything except for defeat the Great Mages for victory, which I think they do because of some of the problems that could come up with, just like the Drummers defeat the Great Mages, you're the last one standing, you win type thing. You also have, you know, like I'm on an extra large world, I'd be dropping down to large, keep it to their number of guys, which means that instead of having 8 opponents, I only have 4. Additional worlds is, again, it's gone down to the default of 3, not, you know, the full 6 that we had previously. And I'm still keeping in the basics, you know, map type cylindrical is kind of, I think, more or less default. Continental, you know, large world, or that's large world? I meant medium. Well, that drops even further. Only 3 opponents and 2 additional worlds, so even more. Yeah, that kind of drops your size down. And I'm not sure who I'm actually going to play as, because it's going to be... Whoop, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, great. I'll just get out of it in a bit. But you get the idea. I was going to show you that I was probably going to play as the Undead, because they can play as someone who gets a lot of mana fast, and then with a bit of the work on the Archmage stuff, for a bonus, you can really do well with that. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the main menu. Whoops. Sorry. I've done that several times. It's just one of those things that happens. Anyways. But yeah, this is my 3rd Let's Play series down. And again, it's not a full one down because I'm going to go back at some point and at least do the undead with Armageddon mode, I think is what's going to end up happening, at least once more. Probably going to end up running human and monsters, and basically what I would be doing is running a different type of victory each time. So, for example, there's a victory for defeating an enemy avatar. There's a victory for defeating or conquering at least 50% of the holy grounds. Originally it was 100% and was almost impossible to do. They dropped it down quite a bit. It's mainly because you basically were defeating all the great mages before you were defeating anything else. Anyways, but that would be definitely a possibility. I might even, heck, lock it into that being the only victory, just to make sure that doesn't become a problem. I'll have to see how that works, but the idea being that if I aim for a different victory each time, you get a little bit of a different path, a little bit of a different ending, and if I'm running with a different race, that leaves only one victory left, and that's the one where you just wipe everyone out in straight up war, and honestly, that's the one that you can see in a bajillion other Let's Plays, so I think it'd be providing a little bit of extra entertainment and a different path for method of playing. Anyways, I hope you've all been enjoying this series. I've been enjoying making them. I do not actually know what video series I'm going to do next because I didn't realize how fast I was going to go through that last, 10 or 15 turns, whatever it was. I thought I'd have more time. That, and I'm having a bit of trouble picking up videos. It's like, if I choose for example, I have Portal and Portal 2. I'm pretty good at it. I can run through Portal pretty quickly, especially Portal 2. But on the other hand, it's been done a lot. I've got Minecraft. I have a Minecraft server. Again, it's been done to death. Like so many times over. Talk about beating a dead horse. So, while it'd be kind of fun, it wouldn't work out in the end. There's some new games I could try, but I'd be running into blind stuff there. And a lot of the new games aren't working out for me, such as, for example, StarMade looks like it's got a lot of potential. Empyrean, some other games like that, but they also are lacking severely in that they are still really early on. I really wouldn't recommend spending money on any games at this point that are not released unless you have to, because people are basically charging full price for a game and claiming it's like pre-alpha or beta testing or something like that, and it's a lie, because in reality, pre-alpha testing means that it's just the developers. Alpha testing is like friends and family, and occasionally you might let in a small group like that. Beta testing is where you open it up to a public testing, or at least some sort of in-house testing or something like that, to make sure everything's running. You've got a good chunk of the game down, but you really got to nail the bugs down. And then as you go into open beta, your game should be done. You just have to finish getting the last of the bugs hammered out. And pretty much it's also an opportunity not only to get that done, but to sort of give a general idea of the players who can see the open beta, what they're about to get into if they purchase the game. This is the concept of testing. I'm looking at going into game design. I'm hoping to be a game designer if I ever get my health up. I've been working very hard for many long years on it, actually. I'm very good at many parts of it that should help me out, but that's a long ways off. Regardless, I do analyze these games, and I kind of wish they would have fixed some of those up. This game did not do that, as far as I can tell. It does have some problems with some bugs, but I would say, in other words, that it's overall actually a really good game. Really fun, really enjoyable, keeps things more balanced, more just like, it's not stupidly hard, it's not stupidly cheating against you. It is cheating against you to go for their hard difficulty, and cheating for you and to go on the easy difficulty, and I kind of wish people had a better method, but I understand what they're doing. They have to write 3 entirely separate AI engines, and it's just so much easier to just throw on some stats. It's kind of what it comes down to. I understand that. Just kind of one of those limitations. But regardless, yep. Oh, and I don't know if any of you noticed, I actually used this main page as the page to use for my end slates once I got those in. I still have not been able to fix them. I think I figured out the problem, and hopefully if you come in later and you read this or watch this video, you'll see that, yeah, I did fix it by then. But what was happening is that I would place the this special box. It's invisible to you pretty much until you mouse over it. Just has the outline show up. And it was supposed to be lined up right with these buttons, but I couldn't do it because it's not aligned correctly between what's in the editor and what's actually in there. I tried different versions of, like, Explorer, Internet Explorer. I usually use Google Chrome. I tried Firefox. They're all getting the same problems. I tried, like, different resolutions and all that kind of stuff, and I think what actually is happening is that it's not just me, though. It may be how it's showing on the videos rather than anything else. So Like, I really trust Chugga Conroy to be pretty darn good at his stuff, and he's actually, I noticed if I mouse over in his latest videos, it is a little bit off. And I think he's just found some ways to sort of disguise it from the looks of it that I haven't figured out, but I'm going to run with it and just, in certain resolutions it may not be showing up correctly, but at least it'll be there. But this is my first opportunity. For me, it's a big learning experience, learning how to be a Let's Player, how to do some extras on here. This is my first opportunity to try a different style. You see me do fast-paced games, now you've seen me do a strategy game. So you saw that I couldn't beat, if you've watched the others, you'll see that I can't beat Orcs Must Die's hard mode on camera at least, and I also only did casual difficulty of Red Faction Guerrilla. I'm playing through on normal now because I'm really good at it, and if I can do casual with commentary, I could probably do normal. I might die a little more often, but not that bad. That's my expectation anyways. But I'm not super good at the fast-paced, high-skill games because my hand-eye coordination, it's really good, but not nearly as good as it would be for someone who plays with the hours that I do. That's the key. And so, on the other hand, strategy is my element. I'm very good at strategizing, and that's often how I make up for weaknesses in these fast-paced games. So now you got to see the strategic element, and I got to see if I can ramble on enough to actually give you something of interest to see while I'm doing this. I'm hoping at some point to be able to run some longer games out there, like RPGs and stuff. I just haven't been able to figure out how to do this, especially because like some of the best RPGs I've played to death. I don't think I would really do a good job of them. And if it's a game that's very popular, you know, there's just all these considerations. You know, if it's a popular thing, I want to have something new about it, something that makes mine unique. So, I guess after this is uploaded, you'll finally see what the next video series is as it comes up. In any case, hope you're all having fun out there, and I will, after I finish the next series, my plan is to come back as I get a chance and run through again with other races. Plans fail, but let's cross our fingers that this one doesn't, alright? I'll see you all next time in another video.